This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
That's us. That's us, man. We're Stanley, and we hate Mondays. Alright. Obviously, we're playing Stanley Parable. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I closed the door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
No, I guess not,
What if
man.
he had to make a decision?
Yep.
What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Never.
No. This couldn't go any way except badly.
What?
The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me.
That's not.
In here I can be happy
That's not.
forever. I will be happy.
Let me out of here!
Stanley waited.
No!
Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell.
I don't know, man.
But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
What, am I gonna fucking die?
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What? What? Wow. Alright, we're out of here. Can't open this. Can't open
All of his
this.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know, man.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
know
he
the
had
meeting
simply
room.
missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I definitely clicked 20 times. I mean, I'd be clicking.
Stanley clicked on literally every
I
single
sure
door in
did.
the office.
I absolutely
because he doesn't
did.
pick up well on cues from his environment.
Alright, man. Don't be rude.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On my left? On my left. But what if I wanted it to do on the right? But what if I wanted to turn around? Mr. Narrator? Huh? Alright, we'll go left. We'll go left. We'll listen. We'll do what Stanley's doing. Alright. Alright. Nope.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve and distribute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Resent okay, never mind. I can't read, obviously. Broom closet. Ooh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, there's nothing.
There was nothing here.
Yep.
No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I mean, they got a nice broom in here. Look how detailed this broom is. They got a wrench. They got more wrenches.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
I'm looking
around. At least if there was
around.
something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Alright, fuck off. Oh, there's a staircase.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, let's go to our boss's office. Not that way. What's this? Exclusive bathroom? Ooh. To be rich is a crime? To commit crimes isn't it rich? What if life would be have to pick just one? Can I jump out the window? Okay. No receptionist? Oop. Man, you got some interesting stuff in here, man. Love it, the music. Do y'all hear someone talk? I heard somebody talk. Oh, it's the music person. Oh, I think it's the narrator also singing it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh,
Shocked,
my goodness.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What is this, fucking... that Jim Carrey movie? Oh. Looks like we're going down. Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
I don't know,
This
man.
question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I mean, this says escape. But I guess we'll go. There's a camera really watching me. Oh, can't turn around now. Alrighty.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
I don't know,
Did he
man.
have the strength to find out?
I'm gonna.
Now the monitors jumped to life,
Whoa.
their true nature revealed.
Oh, that
Each
guy's
bore the
fine.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's
Damn.
co-workers. The lives
This
of so
really is
many
like that Jim
individuals
Carrey
reduced
movie.
to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where
Let's see
freedom
where I'm
meant
at.
nothing.
What am I, 246? I mean, 426, I mean, or 427? I don't fucking know.
This mind control
Let's get the bleep outta
facility,
here.
it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Oh, it's true.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
I mean, we're literally
Was this the
looking
only
at it.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That
Yep.
his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know, man. But apparently we're getting out of here.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never,
It was
man.
unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire
Okay,
life
dude.
utterly blind to the world?
You're fucking yapping.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, I guess we're going to facility power, man. What's this? Boop. Weighted inputs. Let's turn this bitch on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After
Yeah.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off.
You didn't tell me, man!
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
No, it's not.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's
I am, man,
desires.
you fucking
Oh, this is
psychopath.
much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere
yeah, man.
moments until the bomb goes off. But
Mere
what precious
moments?
moments each one of them is. More time to talk
I don't know, man!
about me, where we're going, what all
don't
this
know.
means. I barely know where to start.
I don't know either, man.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
I never said that.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Literally
All
never
right,
said
I'm in a
that.
good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you
Whoa.
exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the
erased them?
machine. I set you free.
Oh.
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
What?
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
I know what
But
to
I'm
do!
enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra
Oh,
time
thank
on
you.
the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what
Fuck
you're supposed to
no.
be doing right now? Or did you
Absolutely!
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. running from button to button,
That's
screen
exactly
to
what I'm
screen,
doing.
clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No, I don't, man. This man's geeking out on me.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
You are
to see
geeking.
you made humble. This is
You are
not a
geeking
challenge.
on me, man.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. So
Goodbye,
you
employee.
can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Yeah, I see
That's
it.
30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30
No, I
seconds
see it.
until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
I know it.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
No.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Yeah.
And believe me, I
Where's
will
the
be
watch?
laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Wow.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is this Stanley's office?
I don't know. No idea, man.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
have not, man.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Who did I forget
I'm not
about?
asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put
boy.
your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh,
That's her, Stanley.
oh boy.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can...
The fuck?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh,
Gotcha!
damn.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Wow,
They wanna
man.
commit their life to you.
Damn.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Can I leave?
Sorry, but
Oh.
you're in my story now.
Oh. Wow.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Press K.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I'm not gonna press it. I'm just not gonna press it.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Come on,
Now
man.
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through.
Oh my
either.
gosh, you're
At last,
explaining.
choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
That's the name of this game.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
One more, man.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Nope.
In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Yep.
Nothing has changed.
Nope.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer.
I see
that
that.
as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me.
I'm
He won't
trying.
stop.
I'm trying,
Here,
man.
watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I can't do anything.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe.
And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Man, I just keep fucking dying, man.
Through the large door
Nope,
that
we're fucking
read
escaping.
Mind
We're
Control
escaping this time.
Facility.
Nope.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I'll always meet a fucking violent death, man. Every single
The
time
door
I've done
behind
this,
him
I've
was not shut.
fucking
Stanley still
died.
had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this
like-
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and
man.
willingly confront his death.
I guess so. Alright, we're getting the fuck out of here. Wow.
As the machine whirred into motion
Like,
and Stanley was inched
Saint
closer
Dead.
and closer to his demise,
Oh,
he reflected that his
shit!
life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped
Oh.
forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no
Oh,
great loss,
please.
like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Oh, please!
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end
No, I'm
to
not
his
accepting
brief and
it.
shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, it looks like a violent death happens again.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Oh!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. He's a bitch, though.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Huh. Wait, what? A selection from the sounds from each throughout the game. When the buttons are pressed, each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes, synchronized. Is this it?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Yeah.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No, I don't. I
No,
want to be free.
perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
You're right, man, because I don't fucking see it.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
You put me back.
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Yep.
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yep.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh boy. I'm gonna click off this time since this man wants to fucking nuke me if I don't.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
You
How
erased
had he
them.
been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Just fucking hurries up.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wow. It seems like it's fucked up when I click yes by accident. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone.
There's one more ending I
What
want to
could it
do.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh, new content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Yep.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Oh.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable
Oh boy, I'm
Ultra
ready.
Deluxe.
I'm ready, dude.
Oh,
is
well,
new
this sounds
stuff.
delightful.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe
Oh,
content.
I'm ready too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet,
Yeah, not
but I'm
really.
sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Nothing's happening.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've
Yes,
never
please.
been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yep.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh,
All right.
no way.
All right, let's see it.
Oh, no way.
The jump circle?
Oh, we can jump. We can jump now. Oh, dude. This is worth it. I only have 20 jumps remaining. Dude, this is awesome. Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad I bought the deluxe version for this. Wow. I'm out. Wow.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Look, another elevator, man.
Another elevator.
Yeah, man, you
Stanley,
want even
I
more
have
content.
to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Well,
it's just
for me, it
elevators and
is.
jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
I mean,
if this is new content,
was
then I
there
could just read
jumping
you the
in the
whole
normal
dictionary.
game?
There's 20 hours of new content right there.
But
Hell, I could
no.
counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar.
But
And don't get me started on the level
the
of
jumping was
craftsmanship that's gone into
awesome.
it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's
Yeah.
hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them
Whoa.
personally accountable.
like Karen.
It's my fault, Stanley.
It is your fault,
I built
man.
up too much anticipation
You did.
around the new content, I'm afraid.
I was
It could
hyped.
never have lived up to such expectations.
No, you ruined
If you're
it.
still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
You fucking blew me up, man.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Alright, man. You better show me something cool.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Wow.
Take a look.
Thank
I call
you,
it
Mr.
the
Narrator
Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yep.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
This is amazing.
Remember back in October of 2013?
I don't. I
when the
didn't
game
play this
originally
game.
launched?
I don't.
Back then, video games had integrity.
Integrity,
Back then, it all meant something.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait.
I can't sit. Oh, there's a fucking...
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Keep it 10 out
Like
of
this
10.
stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Look at all
James
these.
Stephanie Sterling writes, and I
you don't
quote,
quote? Okay, you're quoted.
"Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
No.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was.
I'm not even reading this.
It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
You're kind of glazing.
It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's this? Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Oh boy.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
It sounds like
it didn't need anything else. It didn't need new
glazing.
content.
I get it,
It
man.
just needed to be left alone.
I get
to
it.
spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game
I get it,
memories.
The serious room. I want to go in the serious room. Okay, I guess.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Yep.
But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
That's where I got
haven't
this
looked
from.
at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Let's see.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Open the door. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny,
kinda
with his
unfunny.
humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable,
No, you
but the
don't
game
need
is
to.
already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Using a lot of big words.
Okay,
Wow.
let's see what this one says.
Says you're
While
bad
the
game.
idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I mean,
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're a
Oh,
little
goodness.
bit- you're
This
a
is
little bit
actually quite
preachy.
shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
I mean, you're
You
preaching
can't
right
know
now.
how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. like I let these people down.
Hey, don't
Perhaps
feel
the
like that,
Stanley
Mr.
parable
Narrator.
isn't quite as sterling as I ought. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant... Oh, you're back, you see.
I'm
You were
back.
only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Yep.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
I
But
did.
that's the power of the button.
I did, yeah,
The
I
minute I
did.
start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's...
Yep. Oh.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley.
I'm
Now,
back.
I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
God
It's
damn!
not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
It
But
is
at any
shocking.
rate, I do suggest that we not
Okay.
press the button again.
I will
I
not
think the skip
press
button has
the
been
button.
aptly demonstrated, and we can
Yep.
say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
I don't know.
Where did the door go?
You tell
Wasn't
me.
there a door that led into this room?
No, it was.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip
All right,
button, to go
let's step away.
anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before,
Yeah,
wasn't
there
there?
was.
I swear there was. Where did it go?
I don't know.
Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
No.
Is there any possibility that you could say...
No, I
slam
gotta
your...
click it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Holy shit.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
There's no way out.
Stanley, the door is gone.
I
It's
gotta click it
completely
again.
gone. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my
yeah.
goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
It's getting...
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
God
Or
damn.
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
I'm sorry.
Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with.
I'm sorry,
And
man.
you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right?
Look, it
Me
seems like there's a
talking,
door behind here
you
now.
saying nothing.
Oh.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
It has
But
been.
it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all.
Oh, it's
It
not?
isn't even close.
Wow.
Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button.
I can't,
That's
you're
what
right.
I'm realizing now, Stanley.
Yep, I
I'm
can't hear
realizing
you.
that I needed to know that someone was listening.
Is that why you fucking
I
blew
needed
me up?
there to be a vessel through
that
which
why
my
you
words
blew
were
me
moving.
to
It
bits
was the
of
vessel
atoms?
I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll
Okay.
give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground.
Please.
One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me.
I can
Because
hear
maybe,
you.
Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Oh.
Was I scared of that all along?
Maybe. Is that why you blew me up?
Yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it.
Yeah.
I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
No.
To begin with,
What? No narrator? Alright, let's get out of here. Oh. Looks like
but they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't...
wow. Can I press the button again? I can't. Oh.
The end is never the end, is never
Whoa!
the end, is never 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 the end.
What is this guy yapping about? Man, I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for this narrator, man. He just wanted to show me a good game, but we're gonna keep going. Oh shit. Looks like it's been a while. Oh yeah, it's definitely been a while. Poor Mr. Narrator, he's gone. Man lost it. Right, let's continue. Oh. Looks like we can almost get the fuck out of here, apparently. Just gotta wait for more time to pass. Okay, still can't get out of here. It's cool, I guess. You know what I mean? Just wait for the button to reset so we can skip. Yep. Anyways. Oh shit! Oh, we're out! We're free! Damn. We're just gonna leave, I guess. What's gonna happen if we just keep going? Keep walking.